Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is to try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video we're going to be looking at MMTLP and a new legal last for 2 days of position close only trading, and so let's see how that develops, and then we're going to do some important updates for ticker symbol ARM, also known as ARM Holdings, and also huge news we're going to be sharing with regard to Intel, ticker symbol INTC. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see headline here from Reuters, the Wall Street ahead. The size, speed and rate of moves are in focus with regards to the Fed, who are poised to start cuts. So I am expecting cuts to take place. So it's more of, I think it's more of a question of how big the cut would be rather than if there will be a cut. So in terms of the S&P 500, we know that this is doing quite well recently, and we have had another significant week, and we can see here the S&P 500 notched a 5-day winning streak and as up 4% for the week, with bets this week happening in terms of an interest rate cut, and we can see overall the S&P 500 was up 0.54%. so good news overall there. And in terms of earnings, we can see here some stocks calling earnings this week include FedEx. We also have FactSet and Tamboran, but not a big week here for earnings. And then if we have, finally, I'm going to share news with regard to Intel here. So Intel is something that was called in terms of an alert in a live trading and Discord alert section in the Discord, and we got the news immediately when Intel bagged a $3.5 billion contract to produce chips for the Pentagon. So I am expecting positive news in terms of the share price here. So if we have a look at the again, the post from here from Stock Market News have also confirmed that Intel have officially qualified for as much as $3.5 billion in federal grants to make semiconductors for the US military, as according to Bloomberg. Next update is for ticker symbol ARM, also known as ARM Holdings, and we can see here news broken in our live date trading and alert section. Again, with regard to ARM, we can see first of all ARM is trading higher after Raymond James initiates a coverage with regard to the stock as an outperform rating and announcing $160 price target. So good news there for ARM, and there was also other good news in terms of ARM as well, but in terms of that was shared previously in the video. So great news in terms of the contracts, but let's have a look at how the stock performed over the previous 5 days. We currently see it's in tremendous momentum right now, in excess of 20% over the previous 5 days, and currently at $147.37. So this is a stock that I do believe is going to go much further than this, so keep an eye out on ticker symbol ARM. So now go ahead and check out the latest developments with regard to one of the asks, which is for 2 days of position close only trading, which is what Scott has stated here in his post. The gloves are off, let's get the 2 days of trading back. However, that is not the only option or the only possibility, and what Scott has gone on to say is he's definitely not stating that 2 days of position close only trading is the hill, and he's going to basically put all the eggs in that basket. He is keeping his options open, and he is going to signify to the judge that he's obviously willing to compromise and look at alternatives in resolving this matter, hopefully not just for himself but everybody in the MMTLP community. So a payout instead, yeah, definitely that is one of the possibilities, as well as other possibilities. So let's go out ahead and check out what he stated in terms of the latest update. Let's now get the latest developments in terms of Scott's update. So again, quick reminder, this is in the United States District Court, and it's also in the districts of Vermont, and we can see here it's Scott versus Ari Rubenstein, GTS Securities, Charles Schwab, FINRA, and also Gary Gensler and the SEC. So he certainly is hitting from all angles. So in terms of the latest developments here, we can first of all see that this is his reply in terms of memorandum of law, and this is in reply to FINRA. So FINRA have responded, and what we can see here in terms of Scott, he's looking for a memorandum and a motion for a preservation order. So the preservation order is with regard to obviously the statute of limitations, because we are, if we look at it from one point of view, very close to that potentially hitting us in terms of getting the information and it not being able to take cases like these forward. So he's talked about preliminary issues here, and it's a reply memorandum of law in opposition to the defendant FINRA's memorandum of law in objection to Scott's motions for expedited limited discovery. So he attacks the claim in terms of from the FINRA point of view, and he is now awaiting the court's decision in his motion to hold all motions to dismiss and motions for arbitration in abeyance, and he will look at obviously the legal terrain in terms of the case. So what else we can see here in terms of FINRA, they are fully deserving of sanctions in this matter, because obviously we know they claim to be a self-regulatory organisation and also have immunity. So Scott is basically saying FINRA have implemented the halt without any notice to investors, but with notice to corporate investors. So that's the latest DD. Because of the U3 panel halt, there is almost conclusive proof that the broker dealers were aware of the U3 halt in advance. And he has stated this. He says hedge funds, market makers were aware of this, and he's also stated here in terms of his findings, there was somebody who ran up a 15 million share short tab on December the 8th, 2022. So this is actually quite staggering. So again, information with regard to that, if that is not true, then FINRA should prove that. Why would they do that if they knew they had to close their position? So in other words, it was a license for them to print money, make money, and steal money. So that's really the proper way of looking at it. And if we look at the RICO angle in point 5 here, subheading 5, he's basically saying if RICO counts, he's looking to amend this to state fraud, market manipulation, insider trading, which I think there are strong grounds for, and looking for an evidentiary hearing on this issue to put Draddy under oath. And obviously if this happens, the Department of Justice will have to be on board. And in section 5 we can see FINRA's legal obligations are not worth the paper they are printed on. FINRA shall keep all documents for a period of time not less than 5 years, and the first 2 years in an easily accessible place. So what they could do in theory is say, well, the 2 years are up, it's in an almost inaccessible place. So again, that could be an argument. So again, we are hoping that they don't use that kind of language. And in subheading subsection 7 here, we can see that Scott has submitted proof that MMTLP has been trading under a different guise in Singapore on XADF in the European Union. There is an appendix, so go ahead and check that out in his document that he shared. And this is titled Coding Errors by FINRA. So again, another example of highly suspicious information uncovered by Scott here. And he goes on to say in subsection 9 here, trading continued after the halt in U3 halt in MMTLP. Again, reference there, appendix F. So all of these questions have not been dealt with in the FINRA FAQs or obviously answered. And in section 7 here of the filing, he states here, the preservation of FINRA data is crucial because of the defendant's GTS and Rubenstein's past violations. I'm aware that a lot of these past violations were on the NYSE, and on their NASDAQ they seem to be getting away with it, so not good there. And then he goes on to say that FINRA fails to report suspicious activities and market manipulation not just related to MMTLP but in other securities. So is that because of laziness, or is that because of some other reason? Again, FINRA should explain and respond. And in the prayer for relief at the end, Scott is saying he's requesting that the court add this injunction against the continued use of FINRA Rule 4560. He's requesting an injunction against FINRA's existence and stripping FINRA of their immunity, or should I say so-called immunity, because even that I think is in doubt from a legal point of view. And subheading the 11 at the bottom here, just a note for the judge, I'm assuming here, American market makers and broker dealers are using separate legal entities to offshore their short positions. Again, something that is certainly very, very concerning there, and that's what we are looking at. And first of all, let's now have a look at in terms of what Scott is asking for in terms of the 2 days close of trading. And finally, at the end, just where we have the signatures dated September 13, 2024, he also states he is requesting from the court a writ of mandamus against the FINRA CEO, Robert Cook, to immediately restart trading in MMTLP on the UTC OTC markets for 2 days to buy to close commence on or about 24th of October 2024. So again, he's being very, very specific in terms of what he wants. very specific in terms of a date, and he's basically been extremely clear in terms of the judge what he wants. So as far as I'm concerned, if the judge says, well, I agree to this, but I don't agree to 24th of October, we want to go ahead with a different date. And I think then I'm sure Scott would be able to compromise for that. And again, he's requesting oral arguments in this. And again, I know as far as MMTLP, trading it under that symbol MMTLP is probably not going to happen. It's highly unlikely to happen. And I think just 2 days of trading without position close only is not what the company wants, not what anybody else wants. As far as I'm concerned, Greg McCabe and everybody else involved with NextBridge Hydrocarbons are in favor of 2 days of position close only trading, because we have seen this in the correspondence to FINRA, who have just rebutted every angle of correspondence from NextBridge Hydrocarbons. So again, some great arguments here from Scott, so let's see how this develops. And finally, if you'd like to join us in our Discord and get live trading data alerts as soon as the news breaks, especially as we've seen with stocks such as Intel and ARM and many others, you can join us. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.